Welcome back to the Church of Atheism podcast. We got a probably, most likely, a short episode for you today. It is just me, Trav. So we're solo today. No Chris, no guests, nothing awesome. Just boring old T-Rav. So just have a few articles I went across and found it pretty interesting. And before we start, I want to remind everyone, if they want to help support the podcast, they can go to patreon.com/Church of Atheism, or you can go to amazon.com/shop/Church of Atheism, I believe. Or you can check out our new sponsor, I Love Growing Marijuana. It's on our website. We got a page for it, all specifically for it. Pretty sweet little deal. You got a little guide on how to grow everything. Have all the accessories, everything you need. So jump on over to our website, check that out, and So our first article is interesting. Supreme Court won't hear case on church repairs using tax money. So in New Jersey to be exact, there was a county there that was from 2012 to 2015. The county gave more than $4.6 million to 12 churches to fix stained glass windows, the roofs, and that kind of thing. And the New Jersey Supreme Court found that to be unconstitutional, so they stopped it. So the churches tried to, push that through. They took it to the Supreme Court, and they said, nah. There's this thing called the separation of church and state, and you guys can't violate it just because you want to. I just can't figure this out. How every goddamn Sunday there's at least one service per church, right? You would assume. Many churches have 2 services. Each one of those services, people are giving them cash in those little plates they pass around. They get pissed off if you take money out of those, by the way. I took money out when I was a kid by accident, and just I was like, I want that money. And wow, people got mad. Alright, I was 13. Anyway, how that's tax-free money that people are just giving you, and you can't afford to make your own repairs. Like, I would love to see a church's P&L, like profit and loss statement. I'd love to see how much money they're making versus how much they're spending, and figure out why the fuck they need money from the government to help repair their goddamn steeples. The tax fucking free money, though. My thing is, if they needed the money so bad, couldn't they pray? Wouldn't, of all the people and all the organizations, that pray to God, I figure a church would be something God would pay attention to the most. Like, hey God, I need some money down here. And I figured he would be the first one to be like, hey, yeah, you do need some money, here it is. So it never made sense to me. It doesn't make any sense that they need money there. I found it a bit hypocritical, because most of the time, you got the religion on the right-hand side of things. The right side of politics, hence the religious right. And they're not too big on entitlements and handouts. Yet they're perfectly fucking A-okay repairing a church, repairing a fucking building. They'd rather have a building get fixed than humans be saved and fed and cared for. That's fucking telling to me. And I wish I could say I'm surprised by that, but I'm really not. The more you see this kind of shit, the more immune to it, the more numb, I guess, you kind of get to it. Like, fuck people. We don't want to give people money, but we'll give $4.6 million to the church from taxpayer money, not give a shit that it's unconstitutional. We just want to make sure this fucking building is repaired. Yeah, fuck off, man. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, we go from unconstitutional church repairs to Florida lawmakers advance bill requiring high schools to offer Bible class. So, if the bill passes through the legislature, I'm not drunk, I promise. It is 1:30 p.m. on a Friday. Let's back up a little bit. So I had a meeting to go to. They got pushed back today, a couple hours, and I happen to have all my shit in my backpack. I've got my laptop, my recording shit, just in case this happened, because I kind of had a feeling. So I'm in the middle of an abandoned Sears parking lot recording this podcast. So if you hear like cars in the background, yeah, that's why. Little behind the scenes type shit for you guys. I'm in the middle of the parking lot recording this episode. Yeah, that's how badass I am. Anyway, this next little article, if the bill passes through the legislature, all public schools, all public high schools in Florida would have to offer the class as an elective. It's not mandatory, but they would have to offer it as an elective. And to be quite honest with you, I'm a little torn. Because on one hand, it's obviously unconstitutional. Like, 1,000,000,000% against the Constitution. Can't fucking... No. Can't do that. Church and state line in the sand pretty clearly. On the other hand, I'll admit I'm being a little facetious here, but nothing produces more atheists than a careful reading of the Bible. So I'm kind of torn. I'm almost like, you know what, let him read the Bible. We'll produce atheists in mass waves down in Florida. I'll change that fucking swing state pretty quick. I'm kind of torn on that one. Maybe we should just like make it mandatory for everyone to read the Bible. I'm just joking. But I will say, I know there's going to be someone out there, some conservative, right-wing, religious righty, who gets all pissed off at me because I'm suggesting that we break the Constitution in order for there to be more atheists, ignoring the fact that the actual bill they support is what's unconstitutional. I know the hypocrisy. I've seen it before. I see it coming down the pipe a mile away. Yeah, it's just, how does this shit happen? Like, how is this okay, ever? I feel like the line is just so clearly drawn that church and state don't exist together. They shouldn't exist together. And yet, somehow, these dumbasses always do it. The story goes on to say, earlier this year, Trump signaled an embrace of states offering Bible classes via... Sorry, let me try this again. Earlier this year, Trump signaled an embrace of states offering the Bible class via Twitter. On January 28th, Trump tweeted, numerous states introducing Bible literacy classes, giving students the option of studying the Bible. Starting to make a turn back? Great. Yeah, starting to make a turn back. A turn back to what exactly, Mr. Trump? Turn back to the fucking 1800s? Is that what he means? I think we've discussed this before, but is that what he means by Make America Great Again? Like, let's turn this country back to the 1800s, the way it was back then, where everyone had a gun, everyone went to church, no one knew what science was. Like, I feel like that's his goal, is to, blacks had no freedom, women couldn't vote. Yeah, that's exactly what, that's the American dream right there. That's how Trump's gonna make America great again. Let's put Bibles in every classroom. Let's not let women vote. And, let's get some of those, water fountains where they're separated between whites and blacks. That's a good idea. I might have to go to those red hats now, after all. That's some solid fucking ideas going on right there. I'm at a loss, man. I'm at a loss for words sometimes. I want to talk really quick about Sheldon Adelson. I haven't mentioned him too much on this podcast. He just got diagnosed with... Actually, you know what? Let's back up a little bit. Sheldon Adelson. I was first introduced to him in 2012-ish. Long story short, Actually, fuck, it's a podcast. I can make this a long story long. Short story longer. I used to be, well, I still am. I still play quite a bit of online poker. Yeah, I don't need to get into details. I play online poker. Fuck it, whatever. Quite often, pretty much every day. And in 2011, America, the DOJ, kicked out PokerStars and Full Tilt, Bet Online, not Bet Online, fuck it, whatever. Kicked out a whole bunch of the main poker sites here in America. In fear of money laundering, they came up with a couple different bullshit things. Actually, the Full Tilt one was legit. Full Tilt had like almost a pyramid scheme going on, and that's what actually alerted the authorities. And from there, they just started throwing bullshit at all the sites and kicked them out of America essentially. So, 2012, 2013. Well, this happened in April of 2011. 2012, 2013, a lot of states are trying to make a push to legalize online poker. They're trying to make bills in Congress to legalize it again with better structure. Sheldon Adelson. Here's how he comes into play. He owns a chain of. Is it a chain if he only owns 2 or 3 of them? He owns 2 or 3 different casinos called I'm not going to say it. He owns casinos. He's a big casino idiot. Yeah, not idiot. Big casino owner. He's a billionaire. Rich as fuck, this guy. In fact, he donated a lot of money to the Trump campaign, which isn't exactly why I'm so against him. But he's a corrupt piece of shit. So he wants to block all these states and all these people from having online poker because he's afraid it's going to interfere with his casino business. Which, another story, is bullshit. But he doesn't seem to understand that. He was also involved, from understanding, in a whole bunch of anti-medical marijuana things. There's a lot of places, I think Florida was one of them, where he was able to pull some strings and make sure that a lot of shit didn't get passed for medical marijuana. Which, as you know, we're kind of pro-weed here on the Church of Atheism podcast. But for more reasons than just getting high. I mean, it obviously has a ton of medical, what's the word I'm looking for here? Tons of medical reasons to use it, I guess. Yeah, there we go. But he blocked a bunch of those states and everything, and it's just totally corrupt. He ended up buying a newspaper in Las Vegas, so then no one could write bad shit about him. He would always have an outlet to, totally corrupt piece of shit. Well, turns out he's in his 80s, and he is about to, buy the farm, I guess is the expression they use, kick the bucket. There's not many people I can say this about, but I'm not upset about that. In fact, I'm probably going to have some champagne to celebrate. The bullshit greed not only is what's fucking up America in general, but it's right out in the open. This guy's been corrupt for years, and no one did shit about it. Just a little shout out to Mr. Sheldon Adelson. Also, I wanted to point out really quick that, unlike his friend, Mr. Trump, he was successful at running casinos. Trump, not so much. Maybe he should have asked for help. And this last little article, you guys have probably been following along with this anti-Semitism stuff in Congress. Omar had a couple tweets that were anti-Israel. I just wanted to point out that this entire thing, I'm not taking anyone's really side on this one, but you can say negative things about Israel without being anti-Semitic. We say anti-religious stuff here all the time in the Church of Atheism, obviously. Just because I point out flaws in a religion, any religion for that matter, doesn't mean I'm racist or anti-Semitic or, come on. There has to be I would say there should be a line in the sand, but obviously people don't understand lines in sand. Church of state is the main one we've been talking about here in this episode. So that's kind of stupid of me to even bring up. But come on, she said a few things about Israel because she's from where's she from? Well, with my amazing research team of me, myself, and I, we forgot to take notes on where she's from. But she's from a part of the world where it's not exactly pro-Israel. They're not exactly fans of each other, her country and Israel. So just because she's not 100%, on board with helping Israel out because they're fucking killing some of her family members across seas, doesn't mean she's an anti-Semite. Anti-Semite. Like, come on. I feel like a little common sense should be used when dealing with anything. But come on now. I don't recall her saying anything against the religion itself. I don't recall her saying anything bad about, I don't think she said anything derogatory about Jews. She didn't make any stereotypical jokes or anything. I think it's just ridiculous. Fucking snowflakes on both sides of the aisle, man. Just melt away. And then, yeah, saying something about a religion is ridiculous. It's different than saying, fuck everyone who's in that religion. I think there's a difference there. I'm pretty sure everyone can see that. But then the GOP decided to take the high road. And somebody in the West Virginia Capitol put up basically a meme in the Capitol. And it was the Twin Towers on fire from 9/11. And it said, the caption was, "Never forget," you said. And then it was a picture of Omar with the caption, "I am proof you have forgotten." That's a bit far, I would say. If I had to guess, I would think that's a little bit too far. She's a Muslim, fine. I don't think she has killed anybody. I don't think she's the one who planned the attacks. So, it's always nice to see the GOP take the high road, though. Like, just, who thought it would be a good idea to go there? Who thought it'd be... How does it even make sense? She said a little something against Israel, and now she's to blame for 9/11. Not to blame for 9/11, but you know what I'm trying to say. Because we voted in someone who is from the Middle East means we forgot about 9/11. Like, she hasn't even done anything yet. She's been in Congress now for like 2 months. Leave her the fuck alone, man. She said something anti-Israel. She must be a racist. Let's beat her to the punch. Let's say something worse. Let's put up something that's more offensive than what she said. God damn, man. Oh. Here's a funny article. I say funny. Not funny. Why do I even say funny? Here's an article, really quick. Climate change, rain melting Greenland ice sheets even in winter. But nope, that's not possible. Global warming's not real, remember? The massive Greenland ice sheet is being watched closely because it holds a huge store of frozen water. That sheet is, as we speak, melting from rain in the winter in Greenland. How awesome. I think I've said this before, that I've no longer debating with anyone about climate change. It's a waste of my time. I got better things to do. Got this podcast I need to work on, research for this podcast, editing for this podcast. I have work. I have other projects to work on. Climate change is just not one of those things I'm going to waste my time on anymore. There's so much bullshit. There's too much evidence. It's too obvious that we're causing it. I'm just done with it. So, I think that's it. Hopefully this is at least 20 minutes. Hopefully Hope this isn't like some boring ass like 15-minute babble from me. We will be back next week. Hopefully, Chris will be joining us. Chris is actually moving in the next few weeks, so he's been busy packing, and he's moving to a different town. So he's moving shit in shifts and working still. He's still working 50 hours, 50 hours a week, and doing all this shit. So kind of hard to get Chris on. Maybe we'll get a guest in next week. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I say this quite often, but every month our stats, our views go up and up and up, and it's just been really cool. Chris and I started this hoping that it would grow, but expecting it to just be him and I shooting the shit every week, and watching our numbers grow, talking to you guys on Twitter, it's been really fun, and I really do appreciate you guys. Yeah, I hope I can make some more stuff for you guys. We have some more ideas for just outside of the podcast that we're going to be doing. Maybe some YouTube videos. It should be funny. We've got another website kind of we're working on that's not. It's not going to focus on only religion. It's going to focus on a lot of just random stupid shit. So we're going to be busy for a while. After we've seen it grow, we kind of realize we can do other stuff too. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're enjoying making these things for you guys, so we're going to keep pushing. Thank you guys again so much. We will talk to you guys next time.